Imagine standing at the foot of a towering fortress, mist rolling over its ancient stones, as the echoes of history whisper through the cool mountain air. Germany, land of fairy tales, medieval legends, and imperial grandeur, is home to some of the most breathtaking castles on Earth. From enchanted palaces perched on cliffs to war-hardened strongholds that have defied the centuries, these castles tell the story of emperors, knights, and dreamers who shaped history. So, buckle up, adventurers! We're about to embark on an unforgettable journey through Germany's most famous castles, exploring the magic, mystery, and majesty hidden behind their towering gates. Number 5. Heidelberg Castle, nestled in the heart of the Neckar Valley. Heidelberg Castle is a vision of poetic decay, a place where romance meets ruin. Sitting high above the medieval town of Heidelberg, this once majestic fortress has endured war, lightning strikes, and time itself. Yet it still stands, draped in ivy and mystery. Built in the 13th century, the castle was once the pride of the Palatinate electors, a Renaissance wonder filled with lavish halls, grand gardens, and, of course, an absurdly oversized wine barrel. The Heidelberg Thun, which could hold 220,000 liters of wine. Yep, they took partying very seriously. But Heidelberg Castle's history is soaked in tragedy. It was battered by wars, torched by the French, and even struck by lightning, reducing it to a hauntingly beautiful ruin. Today, as you walk through its crumbling walls, you can still sense the ghosts of its golden past. And the view from the castle's terrace? A breathtaking panorama of Heidelberg, where the Neckar River winds through a city frozen in time. Number 4. Hohenzollern Castle. Perched on a mountain peak like something out of Game of Thrones, Hohenzollern Castle is a symbol of Prussian royalty and military might. Rising 855 meters above sea level, this fortress is what happens when kings decide they need a modest weekend retreat, except it looks more like a real-life Hogwarts. Built by the Hohenzollern dynasty, the family that ruled Prussia and later unified Germany, this castle is an architectural power move. Massive stone walls, towering spires, and a bridge straight out of a fantasy novel make it one of the most visually striking castles in Germany. Inside the castle is a museum of royal excess, featuring Prussian crowns, legendary swords, and walls lined with 19th century grandeur. And while it was never really a battlefield fortress, it was designed to intimidate, because nothing says "don't mess with us" like a mountaintop palace guarded by cannons. Even today, Hohenzollern Castle remains in the hands of the Hohenzollern family, who sometimes crash at their own castle, because why settle for a regular mansion when you have a literal fortress? Number 3. Lichtenstein Castle. Straight out. Of a storybook illustration, Lichtenstein Castle is the underdog of German castles. Small, elegant, and dramatically perched on the edge of a sheer cliff in the Swabian Alps. While it may not be the biggest, it oozes medieval charm, as if Rapunzel herself might let down her hair from one of its towers. Built in the 19th century as a tribute to medieval chivalry, Lichtenstein Castle was inspired by a historical novel, making it one of the rare castles literally built from pure imagination. With its narrow bridges, towering spires, and jaw-dropping views, this castle is a hidden gem that deserves more fame. Whether you're crossing its wooden drawbridge or admiring the view from its terraces, Lichtenstein Castle makes you feel like you've stepped into a medieval fantasy. Number 2. Cochem Castle. Towering above the Rhine River, Cochem Castle is the definition of medieval majesty. First built over 1,000 years ago, this castle was a strategic fortress before being burned to the ground in 1689. But in true comeback fashion, it was rebuilt in the 19th century in a neo-Gothic style. And somehow, it became even more stunning. Picture this: pointed towers piercing the sky, a stone bridge straight out of a fantasy movie, and a hilltop location that offers panoramic views of the Moselle Valley. Yep, Cochem Castle is the kind of place that makes you believe in magic. Inside, you'll find ornate wooden halls, medieval armor, and lavish 19th century furnishings. But it's really the outside that steals the show. When the morning mist wraps around its towers, it looks like a castle lost in time, waiting for a hero to return. And that brings us to Number 1. Neuschwanstein Castle. You knew this was coming. Neuschwanstein Castle isn't just a German wonder, it's the castle. the one that inspired Disney's Cinderella Castle, the most photographed fortress in the world, and the final masterpiece of the legendary King Ludwig II. Built in the 19th century, this castle was never meant for war. It was meant for dreams. With towering white spires, frescoed halls, and a location so picturesque it feels unreal, Neuschwanstein is the ultimate fairy tale come to life. A castle built not for royalty, but for imagination. Germany's castles are more than stone and mortar. They're chapters in the story of a nation, standing tall through war, peace, and centuries of change. Each one holds secrets, whispers of legends, and a glimpse into a past that still lingers in the wind. So, which castle are you dying to visit? And what legendary place should we explore next? Let me know in the comments.